Hi y'all, welcome back to Lives. I think it's time we play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright. I thought I'd take a road to the north, but it has curved around in every direction but north, I feel like. It's been a crazy one. I headed out the north end of the town I was in at the end of last episode. And took the road to the north. And then pretty much as soon as I got outside of town, it curved back to the east. Looks like we got maybe something up here we can explore a little bit of. Oof, although it is getting dark out on me. It's alright though. I'm not afraid. I am, however, apparently thirsty. Let's see. And infected again, man. To make sure I hit the poppin' pills if there's a poppin' pills. Maybe. Yeah, you're scary. This is a bizarre looking town coming up here. I see a lot of... Well, I did before the fog rolled in. Fire zombie. Oh, tall road. Can't quite. Alright. Let's see if we can find someplace fun to explore here. I like those construction sites. I've never actually explored one, but I think they look cool. Joe Bros Builders. You got any stores in this place? Bob's Cafe. I am going to Bob's Cafe. I could use some food. And I think Bob's Cafe might be a good place to get some. Ooh, and I will always take duct tape. So last night was our Wednesday night D&D game. Might actually have been one of the better ones for Wednesday night. For the most part, there were a couple of no. The people in the town told you all this stuff. Yeah, dude, we keep notes. The people in the town never mentioned anything about this place. Well, I should have told you all this stuff. Yeah, that's the way we feel when we're in town and you give us no information about anything. We went to this place called the Spire last week. We didn't enter it, we stopped outside of it, and that's where we called it for... Well, not last week, because we didn't play last week, but the week before that, I guess. And, so, we, oh, good. Oh. Wow. I think that might be the quickest I ever killed one of those. And so this week we started off, we go in the Spire, and now we've really only heard this is great. So we've only heard that they've been sighted. No one has any information about them, and the one of the guys who's part of this caravan that went missing said that they were bandits and that they attacked the people that attacked him and took off with one of the caravan members. And so that's all we had heard about this group. we hadn't heard their name or anything. And so our DM, he starts off talking about how we knew about the Feathergale Knights and how we knew they were here. And I'm like, Feathergale Knights? Nope, that's not in my notes. So I write down, I've been calling them the Vulture Knights. And so I write down they're the Feathergale Knights. And so we get in, and I usually let the other guy do most of the talking. This is his only D&D game, and I play in 3. So, I like to let him get as much out of it as he can. Although to be honest, I kind of do that on the other games as well. I guess I'm content with the parts that I really enjoy, and if somebody else wants to take the lead in conversations, more power to them, I guess. And so we start talking to them, and they tell us they don't know anything about it, and so we're like, that guy said though that he saw knights on vultures attack the group, and so we asked the leader. We hinted that we were looking for someone, and he didn't know anything about it, and so we got more specific with our information, and there's this thing you can do called an insight check, which lets you determine if they're lying or not. And so our guy, the other guy on the team with me, he rolled a natural 20, which in a normal game just means it's a really high roll, like the highest you can roll. But sometimes if you're in combat, the 20 is an automatic hit. And so some people play that skill challenges, a 20 is an automatic success. And so, for whatever bizarre reason, not only are our 20s an automatic success, but you add 10 to them. I don't understand why the 10 thing is there. I don't understand it. I think he was going to originally go with it's not an automatic success, and then change his mind, and so it is an automatic success. I don't know, because the rules like that, the rules that are not official rules, seem to change every time we turn around. So, so he rolls a 20, a 20 insight, and there's no way that the dude can match him on an insight check like that, and somehow we got no sense that he was lying. And so we were very confused because, we were pretty sure these guys took that's the whole reason we came here. And so they invite us to dinner. We stayed for dinner. During lunch, Manticore attacked, and so they invited us to the Manticore hunt, and so we went with them, and we killed the Manticore, and you know what? We didn't get the ring we were supposed to. Oh no, we did get the ring. Never mind. I do remember getting the ring now. But there was a prize of the Knight Captain's ring. And, I might want to start carrying those with me. Or taking those, I mean. Oh, I didn't have that one. Nice. And, so we go, the Manticore dies really quickly. They're not a big threat, and there were like 8 of us. Like, they can be a big threat, but at our level, they're not a big threat. So we go back to the place, and then he invites us to stay for the evening, and so we agree, and we say we're gonna head out the next morning, and then in the middle of the night, it was in the middle of the night, I guess, a couple hours after we retired to the rooms we were given for the evening, one of the knights came and that totally said unlocked. Just go ahead and bash it down. Man, this is a huge... This is a crazy sized... Oh. I may be stunned, but she doesn't have her head. You know, you're not supposed to put your TVs on top of fireplaces. Just so you know. That is a no-no. And that's a tiny television for a room this size. Like, I think I would probably... I'd probably move my couches over here a little closer to the dining area. And move the dining area over here by the windows. Get a big, well, projector. I'd probably put a projector in, actually. Anyways. So she tells us all about the cult they're a part of. And we're like, oh, really? Because we've already dealt with 2 cults. Hey, you remember the fancy house I went into that was like this and it had like pallets out here for the backyard? I like the brick a lot better. This looks like a nice patio. It's a weird... I'm not even a house person and I'm giving housing advice. I don't know. Not a house person, but a decorator. My idea of decorated is, are there walls? Good. I'm done. Although now this stairway here, this stairway does not fit with the decor of your house. What is this place? The bathroom. So we tell her we want to discuss it first, and we'll let her know later. And so she's all fine with that. And so then we're invited to breakfast the next morning, another bathroom. We tell them we're not sold on the whole cult thing, and we would like some more time to explore, to get some more information on the group, because we didn't have any information. And then the DM is like, no, you guys know about these guys. And we're like, what? And he's like, yeah, people in town told you about them. We're like, no, they told us there was a spire and there were knights who ride vultures. That's it. That's the only information we had about these guys before we came here. And he's like, no, you've had tons of information. They work with the Sumerian Knights. The Sumerian Knights had no information on these people, dude. The Sumerian Knights had no information on anybody. All they did was pointed us to the evil earth monks. And he's like, no, I gave you all that information. We're like, yeah, no. He's like, they talked about it, and we're like, no, no. Like, you might have read that information, but you never told us. Nobody had any information on these knights. It was the whole reason we came here, because we didn't know anything about them, and we thought they might be able to scout out information for us, or have the missing delegate member, like we were told they were supposed to have. And he's like, oh, well, I'm just a terrible DM because you should have had all that information. Like, well, we already knew that, but... So, yeah, we told him we didn't want to join him, and he had mentioned there were some bird people nearby, and so I had thought maybe the description of knights on winged mounts fighting these evil monks might not have been these guys on their vultures, but might have been the bird people, the Aarakocra or something like that. Without the name in front of me, there's no way I will remember how that name goes. I'm pretty sure our DM said Aarakocra, but I think it's something slightly different than that. But Aarakocra's fine. They're basically eagles, bipedal eagles, who can still fly. at least from the picture I saw of them. So, but yeah, so we wanted to talk to them guys first, and so, you know, we're like, yeah, we're gonna, like, maybe at a later date. And he's like, well, you know, why wouldn't you want to join with us and help rid the world of evil, kind of thing? And we're like, yeah, but we don't know you that well, and you know, so I said, if this is a join now or never thing, then we're gonna have to opt with never. But you know, we're not saying definite no. We're saying we need more time to discuss our options and gather more information. And so we want to know where we're going to go to get our information. And so we said we're going to go to the bird people next. And so then he immediately, and here's where our DM made a mistake. He immediately says to the people in the room with us to seize us so they can sacrifice us by throwing us off the tower if we weren't going to join, and to sound the alarm. So here's the mistake. We're in the middle floor. What is this place? It's a diner, right? Some kind of diner, I guess. We're in the middle floor of this tower called the Spire. And it's full of guys. Like, we had seen, like, around 20 guys in this tower. And so I'm like, oh, well, this isn't good. And so I figure we could possibly be in a bit of trouble here with the sheer number of guys. And then I realized, looking at the map, that our DM said most of the people have already had breakfast and have gone about their business. And so they're not they're not on the floor we're on. They're on the other floors of the tower. The central staircase runs up through the tower, and there's only one doorway from that staircase onto this floor. So we have them bottlenecked. They can't get past a couple of guys at a time. That's pretty standard tactics right there, is to lock your people down with a bottleneck so that large groups of soldiers can't attack you all at the same time. And so they could at best get 2 guys at a time, and in the game, if you move away from a character, you get to attack them. You can do that 1 time per turn. You can attack someone who moves away from you 1 time per turn. So the only way that they could get all their guys in to attack us is if they also took at least 1 opportunity attack per, well, not per the 2 characters who actually stand in melee distance on our team. We have a melee guy who does not stand next to the bad guys. He's the monk. He's controlled by our DM, and his favorite thing is to run up, hit them, use his feet that allows him to run away when he hits someone, run away, and make sure that all the other characters are between him and the bad guys so that he never gets attacked. Unless it's completely inconvenient, then suddenly at that moment he has to be in the middle of the action, and he did attempt that a little bit last night. And so my assassin rogue, you get subclasses in the game, and so I went with assassin because they get a special ability where if the bad guys haven't taken a turn yet, the assassin gets advantage on their attack, which means they can roll to hit twice. They get two chances to hit instead of 1. you only get to do damage one time, but you get 2 chances to try and hit him. And so um, I also play her as a dual wield fighter kind of character, and so to get the full advantage out of that, I have recently taken some level in fighter in her career, I guess, and so she's now assassin fighter, and due to gear and abilities and stuff like that, she's got pretty good AC, although she still gets hit all the time. Uh, and I swear our DM has got to be cheating, because I think out of all the attacks she took, she was only missed twice last night. Twice out of about 15 attacks. And, you know, that's not the 25% chance they had to hit her if they hit her 13 out of 15 times. So, yeah, that's a lot higher than 25%. And, anyways, so, it's just that when the bad guys attack other characters that aren't my fighter or my cleric, they seem to miss an appropriate amount of time, but when they're fighting my assassin or my cleric, they hit like every time. And I can't believe that that's a coincidence at this point, because it happens every week. And so but anyways, so I've started going fighter with her, because I figured, hey, if she's going to be on the front lines taking the brunt of the attacks, this was a terrible city. There are no shops here. I am disappointed. Alright, I'm going to go back to the north then and take this other road. And so, although I should be looking for a place to hide, because it's almost nighttime. North, right, I was going north. Oh, and I should put some gas in this bugger, because I don't want to run out of fuel here in the middle of the nowhere. So, I put my assassin fighter at the door, so now they can't get through the door. I positioned my cleric near the door, and my cleric has a spell called Spirit Guardians, which means anything within 15 feet of the cleric moves at half speed, and has to roll to see how much damage they take from the Spirit Guardians surrounding my cleric. I love to use it whenever there's a group. And because of the way the DM is trying to kill us, there's a lot of groups. And so it doesn't really do a lot of damage. It's more the slow things down so they can't get in and out quickly, which I think is the most benefit. And and then our sorcerer, he's getting pretty powerful now, and so he actually opened up combat with a fireball against the boss. And then he can use sorcery points, they're called, to cast a second spell during his turn. At least the way we play. And so in fact, I think that's the way it is. You spend sorcery points to turn an action spell into a bonus action spell. And although I thought there were limits on how big a spell you could cast as your second spell, but I don't know. They just let him cast whatever. So fireball and then a lightning bolt in the same turn. I don't really pay attention to the casting stuff so much, because my cleric doesn't have any abilities like that, and so oh, this place in front of me is the passing gas. this would be a good spot to hide out for the night. And, man, I remember when barbed wire was insta-kill. That could have been bad. I just realized when I shot at that guy that he's actually standing right next to an oil barrel. Really? Thank you. Aw. I want a big explosion. Nope. It's not happening. It's not happening. Hey, you know what? I could probably use this. Oh, I don't have... Okay, apparently the stairway's inside. That wolf is trying to get me. A little quicker. Oh, there's no stairway. There's no ladder up. Oh, here it is. Because we're about to hit nighttime, and I don't want to be down there with all that stuff at nighttime. I don't. There we go. Wonder why that other one wasn't detonating for me. So anyways, so we get through all the guys, and we basically kill everybody off, and then we do have one of the characters, the one who offered to let us join the cult. She's still with us. Just knocked unconscious at this point. And really kind of irritating me was two of the dudes flew off on their vultures. Everybody else came to attack us, and we're like, ooh, well, they left behind the 4 hippogriffs that we just used. And strangely, 2 of the 4 hippogriffs are missing, and there are no vultures left. So we can't take flying mounts to take this woman back to someone who can keep her prisoner until we can figure out what to do with her. This is why I don't take prisoners. But yeah, so it was all right. I know the DM made some comments at the end about how he wasn't happy because we told him to stop screwing around with everything if he wasn't going to give us our full XP. Because he wanted to give us the regular XP that's listed in the book, but make all the encounters way harder. And we're like, yeah, no, if we're going to fight level 6 encounters, we want level 6 XP. That's ridiculous to make us fight level 6 encounters, but give us level 2 XP. So just let us have easy fights if they're going to be easy. And this was not an easy fight. This was a actually appropriate level fight. And so we got our level 6 XP. He feels it was a level 3 encounter because no one in the encounter was CR3 or higher, but that's not how the game works. I keep trying to explain to him how that CR stuff is supposed to work, but he didn't listen. Which is pretty standard. That dude never listens to anything I say. Pretty sure I just saw that wolf turn into a big zombie. Oh, maybe not. Thought I had a werewolf going on here. So yeah, it was a pretty good fight, and we got hurt a little. Well, 2 of us who actually stand in melee range and fight, and the sorcerer took damage. But the monk, he was hiding around the corner, so he never got hit. He thinks that's okay to just let everybody else constantly be protecting his characters. He does it on our Monday night game. He does it on our Wednesday night game. It drives me crazy. Um, and but yeah, we fought another group of cultists. He also, I found really funny, was he just yelled at us for how we kill everybody, and we were complaining that all his people are just angry and mean all the time, and it's hard to work with his NPCs because they're always angry and mean. And he's like, they're not angry and mean. And so we're like, every time we talk to someone, they always try to betray us, or they never have anything useful for us. They're always mean. They're always like, we shouldn't have to talk to you. And how dare you have the audacity to talk to me, kind of attitude every time. And so this is just another prime example of that. We were nice. They were arrogant. We tried to talk to the leader of the Knights, and we brought up the fact that the one guy had accused them of being bandits, and we were looking for this, how dare you call me a bandit? Like, well, okay, we didn't call you a bandit. You just said the word bandit. Yeah, but we didn't say we were calling you a bandit. We said that other guy said bandits on vultures, and so we could only assume that he meant the Vulture Knights, or the Feather Gale Knights, I guess they're called. You did it again. You just called me a bandit. Wow. I can't talk to these people. Sorcerer, please, go back to questioning this guy, because apparently we don't speak the same language. I don't want to deal with that. I don't know why he thinks that's fun. Our DM thinks that's fun to always have misunderstandings in communication of simple phrases, and always, every NPC always harps on the one thing that they could possibly be offended at. I just wish to have a normal conversation and not everything to be a overblown caricature. Anyways, we won. The spire is now pretty much clear. And we didn't find anything useful. Turns out the person we were looking for wasn't there, or they've been thrown off the tower. One of those two things. Although I know, because I looked in the book, I wanted to make sure he didn't miss something important. Because I grow weary of the retcons. And, so, yeah. Alright, well, with that, I'm going to call it a day. So click like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one. I will talk to you later.